Welcome back before the bell here on MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. That's Nick Kalikas. Today we are talking about pretty much the most looked over fight of this entire weekend. Like the UFC is having three fights in what 3 days, 4 days, and this is the most looked over fight as the main event of Chad Mendes and Frankie Edgar. This is an absolutely ridiculous fight, and nobody, when I say this, I mean nobody is talking about this fight. They're talking about Paige and Rose, which we covered yesterday, and they're talking about Connor and Jose and Chris and Luke. Nobody's talking about Chad and Frankie Edgar. And this is an incredible fight. This is an amazing fight. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen at home, we can't, at the time of taping, we don't know what the co-main event's going to be because it's the Ultimate Final finale. And so we can't cover that one because we're not sure who it is at the time of this taping. About 4 or 5 hours later, we'll all know it, but it'll be too late for us. So unfortunately, we'll only come to the main event. I'm taking Frankie Edgar on this one. But I'm betting Chad Mendes because Frankie's got to be a huge favorite. I got to see the line being huge for Frankie because of how good he's looked the last little bit. And then Chad, the way he got beat by Connor, has got to make a lot of fans not believe in him. But I really think that he's got to be a huge underdog, and that's where the money's got to go. Even though I think Frankie's going to win the fight, I'm putting my money on Chad. Am I right, or am I completely off now on the line?
Well, he's not a huge favorite, but Edgar's definitely a favorite. He's minus 150. The comeback is plus 130 on Mendes. So I think Edgar is the rightful favorite. I know both of these guys are studs. So you're right, man. How are people overlooking this fight at all? I mean, if this wasn't kind of bunched in the middle of an amazing fight week, this one would get all sorts of recognition and talk. I mean, because you got two of the best, obviously featherweights, but two of the best pound for pound fighters out there, period. I mean, these guys are phenomenal in every aspect of the game. So what a fight. This is almost has that super fight feel in a way, right? I mean, it's you're going to get a quality fight no matter what. So it's tough. I mean, I do think that Edgar has a better cardio, honestly. I mean, we've seen from time to time, not just in the last fight with Conor McGregor. I know that Mendes took that on short notice and he faded a little bit. I actually expected him to do a little bit better than he did in that fight. But even in the past, I mean, he's had some signs of slowing down. And, he doesn't keep up that high pace. With Edgar, we all know that he can go 5 rounds, I mean, like nothing. And he's going to consistently put up that pace. His fight IQ is great. And he's just a well-rounded fighter. I mean, completely. And not that Mendes isn't, but I just think that that's going to be the difference a little bit. I think that fight IQ, I think Frankie's just a tad bit smarter. I think he's going to be able to kind of outpoint Mendes, especially as the fight goes on a little bit more en route to possibly decision win or maybe even a late stoppage. But, I mean, Mendes definitely has the power to put anybody out in a weight class. So we've seen Frankie been rocked before. He's tough as nails. It's hard to finish the guy, obviously. But, I mean, Mendes could win by knockout, and he could steal one on the cards as well because this fight will be competitive.
We've seen Edgar get rocked by a Gray Maynard twice and still come back to win. One time ends up being a draw, and the next time he ends up being a complete victory. And he got rocked severely bad in both runs where the ref was looking to stop it, and Frank just finds a way to fight his way back into it. But I think Mendes, if he hits him, is going to hit him hard, and Mendes has a bad taste in his mouth. He could have been the champ. He has the formula to beat Conor McGregor, but 11 days is not enough time to train for a guy like Conor McGregor, who is dedicated and diligent to getting himself put together. I agree with everything you just said on this, on your breakdown, Nick. I really do think this fight is an absolutely amazing fight, and really the fans are not giving it justice. If there was any way for Mendes to catch up with Edgar, the only way that you see Mendes winning is by catching him. You can't see Mendes winning a decision victory over Frankie in this fight.
I do. I mean, judges are awful. So not that it would be that kind of like a blowout. I think it's going to be competitive, obviously, So, yeah, judges, I mean, you could honestly, Frankie could win all 5 rounds and it could be the other way. We could see Mendes getting all 5 rounds on the scorecards. That's how bad they are out there. So I never trust the judges at all. But, I mean, as far as realistic thinking goes, I think that Edgar does have a little bit more of that push, a little bit more of the fight IQ, and a little bit more of that cardio that's going to keep him persistent along the way. And I just don't trust Mendes in that regard. But as far as power punching goes, you're right. I mean, like I said, I think he does have a legit shot at possibly being the first one to get rid of Edgar because, man, I mean, Edgar is getting a little bit up there in age now. I mean, he's not a young buck anymore for sure. And man, Mendes hits really hard. So I wouldn't be shocked if I seen, Mendes catching Edgar and putting him out. But if he doesn't, though, I think he loses the fight in most cases because I think Frankie can decision him. But this is a tough one, especially at the betting window for sure. I know it probably seems like a dog or pass situation, and that might be the way to go. Or just sit back, no action on the fight, and just enjoy two of the best fighters in the world going at it and competing because it is a tough one to call, especially if the line. Now, if the line drops, I mean, if you're seeing Edgar dropped down to like a $1.20, $1.30, there's definitely going to be some value there, even though 150 is not far off from that. Or if you see the line escalate to maybe 200-ish or something like that, then for sure there's going to be even more value on Mendez. So it's really the line game here. I think where it's at right now, it's kind of keeping me away a little bit. But if we do see some significant movement one way or another, then there might be some value on that either side.
That's Nick Kalikas. I'm Frank Trigg. This is Before the Bell. We'll see you again tomorrow.